When a routine trip to Walmart took a dark turn, no one could have predicted the unsettling truth hidden behind a locked restroom door. A mother, missing for 3 days, was found lifeless inside, a discovery that sent shockwaves through the community. How could this happen in one of the busiest retail chains in America? Why did no one check sooner? As public outrage mounted, investigators uncovered an unexpected twist that shifted the blame away from the store and onto a far deeper issue, one that many overlook until it's too late. When a woman's body was found locked in a Walmart bathroom where it had been for 3 days, the public quickly lambasted the store, with some even blaming the big box chain for the death. Then, cops revealed what they found when they looked in the deceased woman's car. After the discovery, should the store still carry any blame? Catherine Caraway, a 29-year-old mother of one in Muskogee, Oklahoma, stunned the world when she was found dead in a Walmart bathroom just outside of Tulsa. Making the discovery even more horrific, the deceased woman's body had been locked in the private family bathroom of the Sand Springs store for 3 days before she was found. Immediately, the public wanted answers, as many pointed the finger at Walmart. Although it was initially unclear how long the mother had been in the bathroom when her body was found, it was soon revealed that employees discovered Caraway 3 days after she had walked into the store and into the restroom where she died. According to News on 6, CCTV footage showed the woman entering the store's private and lockable bathroom on Friday at 6 p.m. But it did not capture her returning to the store the following Monday before her body was found at 3 p.m. So, investigators believed she was inside the entire weekend. We're searching through the video and talking to as many people as we can to find out her story, where she's from. Sand Springs Police Captain Todd Ensbrenner told Tulsa World shortly after the body was found. As Sand Springs Police continued to investigate, they learned that staff had put an out-of-order sign on the family bathroom after becoming confused about why it was locked. The employees assumed the restroom wasn't working since it had been locked for a number of days, and they didn't get a reply when they knocked. They had no idea Caraway, who was alone at the time, was inside, Daily Mail reported. The out-of-order sign remained on the door over the weekend until a maintenance employee unlocked the bathroom on Monday morning, only to discover the dead woman's body on the floor, according to Inside Edition. When the preliminary investigation didn't turn up anything suspicious about the woman's death, the court of public opinion quickly found fault with Walmart, decrying the fact that the bathroom wasn't cleaned for 3 days and no one had looked inside to see if anyone needed help. Casey Johnson, who remembered trying to use the family restroom the Sunday before Caraway was found, was heartbroken to learn why the bathroom was locked. It was before they put up the out-of-order sign, Johnson recalled. She was in there for that long and they just passed it by, she added, by them just knocking on the door and not getting a reply. Why did they not go get a key and open it? They could have helped her if she needed it. Captain Ensbrenner believed it was a big miscommunication, and although the discovery was unusual, it wasn't necessarily surprising. It's not really that shocking. You find bodies everywhere, he said. We don't suspect foul play, but we also don't believe that it was natural causes, he continued. As the public voiced their disdain with Walmart, an autopsy was performed and the police searched Caraway's car for clues. Months after her demise, Caraway's death was ruled accidental as the autopsy results revealed that she died of an irregular heartbeat due to difluoroethane toxicity, which makes perfect sense considering what was found in her car. Then located difluoroethane is found in air dusters, like those used to clean computer keyboards, and multiple empty cans were discovered in Caraway's car, the Seattle Times reported. Police believe she had been huffing, inhaling the chemicals from the cans to get high. Huffing deprives the body and brain of oxygen, as the abuser fills their lungs with chemicals instead of air. The most serious side effect is sudden sniffing death syndrome. By the time this occurs, it's often too late since the user's brain has been deprived of oxygen for so long. Even first responders rarely save the lives of people whose heart has stopped because of inhalant use, according to drugrehab.com. So while the young mother's death is tragic, it was no one's fault but her own, and there was little the staff at Walmart could have done about it. But her death does raise other important issues beyond the detrimental effects of huffing. Although Catherine Caraway was a Texas transplant to Muskogee and had no apparent connection to Sand Springs, according to Ensbrenner, one can only wonder how the woman wasn't noticed to be missing by anyone for 3 days. It was reported that her family traveled from Texas to identify the body, but there is no word where Caraway's son was while his mother lay dead on a Walmart bathroom floor. In a world where everyone is constantly connected, no friends or family seem to question why the young mother, who obviously had a drug abuse problem, seemingly disappeared without a trace for days, as even her social media accounts went silent. That represents a much sadder reality in our society than whether or not Walmart is cleaning the bathrooms every day. Caraway's tragic death is more than just a disturbing incident, it's a reflection of a much larger, more troubling issue. How does someone vanish for 3 days without anyone noticing? In a society where constant communication is just a text or call away, how did no one check in on a young mother until it was too late? The heartbreaking truth is that isolation, addiction, and silent struggles are far more common than we care to admit. Caraway's story forces us to confront the uncomfortable reality that despite being more connected than ever, many people are still profoundly alone. It raises questions that extend far beyond this single incident. How many others are struggling with addiction behind closed doors, unseen and unheard, until tragedy strikes? How many people are battling demons in silence because they fear judgment, rejection, or simply have no one to turn to? The discovery of her body in a Walmart restroom isn't just a reflection of one woman's personal battle. It's a sign of a societal failure to recognize and address addiction as a serious and life-threatening disease. If a mother can disappear for days without a single person realizing she's missing, what does that say about the way we look after one another? Beyond the circumstances of her death, Caraway's story also exposes the alarming accessibility of inhalants and the lack of awareness surrounding their dangers. Unlike other forms of substance abuse, inhalant use is often overlooked, dismissed as something less severe than opioids or alcohol dependency. But the reality is that it can be just as deadly and in some cases even more unpredictable. A single inhale can cause the heart to stop instantly, and by the time it does, even medical intervention is often futile. Yet, despite these dangers, inhalants remain easy to obtain, cheap, and widely available, making them a tempting option for those seeking an escape. This tragedy should be a wake-up call, not just about Walmart's lack of action in checking on a locked restroom, but about the deeper systemic problems that led to this moment. Caraway's death was not just a freak accident or an isolated case of misfortune. It was the result of a combination of neglect, addiction, and societal indifference. The response to her passing should not be limited to placing blame on a corporation, but should extend to asking why no one was there to help her before it was too late. As her story fades from headlines, the underlying issues that led to her tragic end remain. Addiction continues to claim lives, and people continue to suffer in silence. If anything, her death should serve as a reminder that we need to do better, not just as individuals, but as a society. We need to check in on the people around us, reach out to those who seem to be struggling, and stop treating addiction as a moral failing rather than a disease. Because if we don't, Catherine Caraway's story will not be the last of its kind. It will simply be one of many, lost in the noise, forgotten behind another locked door.